Hi, I'm Brian Fleming and welcome back to the Marketing Battle Plan free video series. I want to talk to you today about how to get more loyal customers. In fact, I'll even say loyal lifetime customers. Whether you're new in business or you've been in business for 60 years, this applies because what I'm about to tell you is a timeless principle and it's been proven over and over and over again. And I was thinking about this last night because I was watching a movie last night with my wife and kids. They've never seen it. Maybe you've seen it. It's called Ernest Goes to Camp. Remember Jim Varney way back in the 80s and 90s? He was making those movies. Ernest, he was this real gangly, kind of skinny, funny guy, comedian. Well, he goes to camp and he wants to be this camp counselor. But the thing is, at this camp, there are two groups of people. There's like the good kids, the rich kids, whose parents sent them there. But then there is this group from the local juvie center, the local juvenile detention center, who are getting like a second chance, and they're sending them to this camp with these rich kids, all right? And so obviously they're fighting the whole movie, and like one of them burned down the other one's teepee, the other one got punched in the face in a food fight, in the cafeteria. It was funny. The whole movie they're feuding. But then there's this guy who owns this excavation company. He wants to buy this Indian sacred land. He wants to dig it up and sell it off for millions for the minerals in it. Well, the company ends up they trick the old Indian guy into signing the papers, and so they come in and they're trying to destroy it, and all hope is lost. But then the juvie kids, the bad kids, they choose to stay and fight. They want to they're like shooting arrows, flaming arrows into like explosives boxes. Stuff's blowing up. And two of the kids from the other group, like the rich kid group, their parents are well-to-do and they send them to summer camp. They're coming through the woods, and the juvie kids look at them and go, "What are you still doing here?" And they're looking at them saying, "What are you still doing here?" They said, "We're not leaving. We're going to fight these people." And the two kids from the good group, they're not really good. They were horrible kids, but from the other group, the non-juvie group, they said, "Yeah, well, we want to get some too." And for the first time in the movie, they smiled at each other and they became allies. Because what? They had a common enemy. All right, check this out. This isn't just in movies. A lot of people don't know this, but during World War II, Allies versus, the communist and the Axis evil powers, there was a time when the Allies, Americans, British, we temporarily aligned with Russia. Russia was not our same political position by far. And here's the reason why. Nazi Germany, Adolf Hitler, we both knew he was going to end up taking over all of us eventually if we didn't do something about it. The Russians knew that their grandkids were going to speak German, and the Americans knew our grandkids would end up speaking German if we didn't do something about this Hitler guy fast. And so there was a time when two nations who were not on the same page, they said, "Hey, we have a common enemy. If we don't take care of this thing, it's going to destroy us both." So there was an alliance, a temporary alliance there. So we have different political positions, even still today, but things are actually a little more peaceful, at least at the time of this recording. Hopefully it stays that way. But here's my point. Who is the enemy? What is the cause, the enemy of your customer's problem that you can help them solve? Few things in life unite people like a common enemy. I mean, if you pick up rocks and you start throwing those rocks at somebody's enemy, they're going to look over at you and they're going to sort of like you better. I'll give you an example. I do a lot of resilience training for the military. Why would they pay me and fly me all over the world to military bases and different places to do resilience training? It's because the enemy that a lot of their service members are dealing with, it's not a person. It's actually post-traumatic stress. It's the after effects of war that men and women come home with and they have to deal with. So the common enemy, because the military has to pay all this money and provide all this training for helping people deal with post-traumatic stress and all these post-war issues. Well, I come along and I say, "Hey, I've been to war. I understand what it's like. I've had to deal with post-traumatic stress myself. Here's how I was able to productively deal with it and move forward in life in spite of it. I have a way I do that. Would you like me to teach your people how I did it too? Because I'm just like them." Do you know how often they book me? I get booked like crazy by the military. Why? Because I identified a common enemy that they have that I can help them defeat. So think about this. What is the common enemy in your customer's mind? And why is write it down. Write down what is the enemy. It can be a person, it can be a thing, it can be an idea, an ideology. What is it? It can be a fear. What is the enemy that is causing pain to your customers, or anguish or stress or whatever, and that your company's product or service is solving that problem and taking it away? Identify that common enemy that you can become their ally with, and you will have loyal lifetime customers.